Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 6 of our commentary for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Last time we recruited Koops to the team, or at least I think we did. I wasn't really present for that, thanks to my internet service provider. Once again, looking out for me. And today we're going to be tackling the dreaded Hooktail Castle.
I hear this place has led many adventurers to defeat.
Yes,
up, Nick.
that is technically true.
To defeat.
To kind of turn things around, the HP Plus badge we just acquired is what I was talking about, where you can buff your HP and FP using a badge instead of an actual hard stat upgrade.
Oh, I feel so sorry for Koops.
To Mario.
He's a turtle, he can swim.
Don't get my Koops killed. What was that? As he pushes Koops into the water multiple times.
Over and over again.
I can't hear you.
He's kind of like.
I can't hear you over the splashing of your boyfriend.
You know, Mario, just because I have the power to teleport back to you doesn't mean I want to do it every time.
Oh god, that's not what his voice sounds like, is it?
It is now.
What if Koops...
Welcome to Nick Does Horrible Voices.
Yeah, welcome to Nick's horrible, terrible, no good, very bad voices.
That's your new channel.
What would Koops sound like? Is he one of these fellas? Is he a Frunkus? Is that what you're looking for?
Frunkus? Excuse me?
Thrunkus?
Yeah, a Frunkus.
Is that a Nick original?
Oh,
And yes, as you can
goof,
see,
Joe.
And I don't realize it until the end of the battle.
Until the end of...
See, when you... Yeah, it's
You
ridiculous.
just hit the title and then your eyes just go back to the left of the screen and
Well, no, I don't realize it until I multi-bounce all of them.
Oh.
Because once you ground a paratroopa, like with the Goombas, they just become normal Koopa Troopas.
So wait.
And act accordingly.
So if I had wings, when somebody clipped them, would that change my name on my birth certificate?
Yeah, you'd have a new classification, Trey.
Yeah, if you were born with wings, then your name on your birth certificate would have been Paratray, of course.
You still have 4 HP, but now people will be able to see it.
If you had wings, but then you lost them, then your name would change to Satan.
I mean, yeah.
Dan knows what's up.
That's a biblical joke for you.
Yeah.
Check out Lucifer, now streaming on Netflix.
Check out the first ever game stream on Netflix. They're trying to get some of that Twitch money.
Yeah, I think Goombella's Tattlelog on the Paragoombas comments on how kind of existentially horrifying it is that you can just bounce on a Paragoomba and it loses its wings forever.
Yeah.
Just becomes a normal Goomba.
Not necessarily forever. They can
Yeah, they should really be fastened on there a little more securely.
They can find a feather just like anybody else.
Also, I think that's the first time an enemy has gotten a first strike on me this playthrough.
What are you
So there
doing,
you go.
Joe? I thought you played this
I'm
game
so glad
before.
we showed this. Yep, basically a Koopa Troopa with wings. She almost seems annoyed that she even has to, explain this guy.
I like how Goombella's jealous of all the flying enemies.
I thought
Yeah.
for a second that she just said, honestly, I kinda hate this guy. And I was like,
This guy in particular.
Honestly,
Well,
I kind of hate this guy. I mean, look at him.
this game is rated T, right?
is it?
No?
No.
No?
No.
I mean,
I thought it was.
no. In fact, it's not even E10. This was before E10 was introduced.
Oh. So it's just E?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing in this game that's like...
Yeah, what do you think this is? Super Smash Bros. Melee?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wait, that game was T, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Why?
Because it was so dark and gritty.
Yeah, that would be bizarre if they actually made a T-rated Mario game. It would be like all those crappy fan-made box art covers I see online.
If they made a T-rated Mario game, it would probably be a Mario Strikers game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Those are the most violent Mario games out there.
This is the soccer's game, right? The soccer games, right?
Yeah.
Soccer's.
The
That's
soccer's
its name.
game.
That's its name
yeah,
now.
it's like how Attorney General, the plural is attorneys general. The plural of soccer game is soccer's game.
I don't like how that rolls off the tongue. It's like...
Except that one of those makes sense.
Saying attorneys general is like putting a bunch of dry salad in your mouth. Like, it's the same, but not. It's like, this needs something.
Boo.
Thankfully, saying attorney generals is also correct, because language evolves to make sense.
Yeah. And the singular of attorneys general is attornus generalis.
It becomes Spanish when you singular.
Did you just cast a Harry Potter spell at me, sir?
It's attornus generalis. It turns you into an attorney general.
Ronald Weasley.
Oh no.
It's pronounced generalis.
These bones.
Them bones. That dry bones.
Insert comment and reference here.
Why is Dry Bones' skull 1.5 times bigger than Koops'?
Because dry bones are a different creature.
They're a horse of a different color.
I like that it still has eyes.
Instead of clipping their wings off, they clipped off their skin.
I like how you can just do that in the Mario universe.
Mario just bounces on them, all of a sudden they don't have skin no more.
That's disturbing. Does he have, like, knives on his shoes?
No, it's just the rules.
It's just how physics works, Trey. Jeez, did you not take that class in high school?
No, I didn't, actually.
If someone jumps on your head, you lose all your skin. That's physics.
Wait, his real name's Colorado?
No.
No, Colorado is the explorer from Paper Mario.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another dank callback to the original Paper Mario.
So what happens if you tell him not to read the letter? Does he just go through the whole castle thinking that was his dad?
I was gonna comment on that, because I honestly don't know. I guess I should try that sometime.
I like that you didn't edit out you switching from Goombella to Koops to Goombella again.
Well, yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's like, what are you waiting for? Why are you being so indecisive?
Oh, Lord.
So now we have another room full of like 12 billion enemies.
Is this Left 4 Dead Mario Edition?
Yeah.
Each one individually rendered.
By the way, these guys slowly push you to the left, and if they get you all the way to the left wall, they just toss you out the door.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's great.
Huh, I've also never had that happen.
So I'm guessing that pink one is a different kind.
There's another one kind of like this later on that's a bit less kind.
Yeah, he's a dry bones of a different color.
Also, this was the fight that I farmed. Wait, no, I wasn't farming rare items. I was farming EXP because this guy keeps spawning new dry bones, which each give you more XP when you kill them. And I wanted to. I was trying to see if I could level up twice in one battle, because the thing that like lessens the XP that enemies give you only happens after the level up. So like if you do it all in one battle, then you keep getting the same amount of XP from all the enemies, even if you get enough to level up. So I just did it out of curiosity, and Luigi happened to be in the audience, and he threw me just like 5 Ultra Shrooms and like Royal Jellies and stuff.
Thanks, buddy.
Because I was there for so long.
Now, is it the... And I'm sorry for ignoring the catalog. Is it the pink ones that can create other enemies, or can all of them do that?
I think it's just the pink ones.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So I had a question. So what's the name of the badge that allows you to jump on spiky enemies?
Spike Shield.
Okay, so I know it's like a part off from like when we first introduced it, but I have a theory about the Spike Shield.
Yes.
It's a pair of modular cleats that he changes out before he jumps on every enemy. So it's one of those, he tells the enemy, he's like, yo, hold on, let me change my shoes.
Give me just a second.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
it's like in a
Only
street
fair.
fight when you got Joe, what are you doing?
This is another moment of idiocy here that I thought was funny.
It's like a street fight where you gotta take out your nails and fix your weave before you get into the fight.
It's like, hold on, let me fix my weave.
I mean, wouldn't Mario just need hard-soled shoes to jump on the spike enemies? No, it's got to be high-tech modular cleats.
Yes. They're okay. You know what they are? They're the shoes from the Mario Brothers movie. Those like really ridiculous jumping shoes that he has. Oh, I see what you did now. Oops.
Completely and utterly screwed up.
You screwed up.
Congratulations.
You're really taking a roundabout way to do all this.
Yeah, this is to make up for all the enemy encounters I removed.
Oh no.
Thankfully, I got a little wiser there.
Sound of a golf clap.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I'll be here all week.
Oh no, the stairs. Come back. Oh well, the perspective on that's really fun.
Now here's a question, because this kind of pertains to how the series has progressed in recent years. How prevalent do you think the papery graphical effects and gimmicks in this game were? How important do you think that stuff was to like the identity of the series, or the appeal of the series?
I wouldn't say it was very, very important at all. I mean, the original one barely used it. Like, I think Paper Mario is less... contrary to what Nintendo thinks, I feel like Paper Mario, the identity of Paper Mario is less Mario that's paper and more Mario as like an RPG, or Mario as a like more, I don't know, I want to say RPG world, but RPG doesn't really describe it. It's just like a more fleshed out world, I guess.
Well, yeah, and to kind of tie it in with the paper theme again, like the original idea of the first game was like it's like a pop-up book.
Yeah.
You know, the operative word there being book. Which contains a story. You know.
Yeah, I mean the Japanese name of the first Paper Mario game wasn't even Paper Mario; it was Mario Story.
Oh.
Yeah. Like the paper thing was like second. It's like they didn't set out to be like, oh, what if we made a Mario game around paper? It's like, oh, let's make a Mario RPG and have the graphical style of it be that of paper.
I do have to say,
then,
the 2.5D
you know,
aesthetic does really lend to the charm of these games, though. So I mean, from a design, like from a visual design perspective, I think that it's relevant, though not integral.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's certainly appealing. Like, you know, I talked earlier about how like this game is like graphically pretty ageless, apart from resolution. But
yeah, but it's like it's like when
you know there are 5 different games that all look like Paper Mario, but there's only really 2 that like feel like Paper Mario. In my opinion,
I mean, I would argue that Super has the core feel.
Yeah.
Arguably more than Sticker Star and Color Splash. But the mechanics are completely different. So if, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I think a good way to describe it is that like when you've got the Paper Mario series. If you take out the paper aspect, then it's kind of the same kind of game, just like with a different coat of paint. But when you take out the story aspect and like the fleshed out world and all that, like they did in the later part of Paper Mario games, people no longer really consider them proper Paper Mario games.
It is worth mentioning that I don't believe any of us have played Sticker Star or Color Splash. Is that a correct assumption?
I haven't played them, but I have seen plenty of the games.
I have not.
I'd say enough to like form an opinion that's like valid.
So, I mean, it's entirely possible that like the window through which we've seen these games is, you know, in some way tainted, and if we were to pick up the games ourselves, we would be like, wait, hold on a minute, I love this. We don't know because we haven't played them, but that's not necessarily a likely scenario.
Yeah, I'm also just talking about like I said, the basically like the general fan base no longer doesn't really consider the later games proper Paper Mario games. Not just like my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So it looks like we picked up another curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. How will we ever get on with our lives? But no, this one lets us. We were talking about the prevalence of the paper gimmick. This one lets us just turn sideways.
Yeah.
To fit in between little gaps.
The simplest and probably most useful of the paper curses.
Yeah. So, I have a question. Are the powers like this in here to make it to where you can't sequence break as easily?
I mean, that's part of it.
Well, it's like finding a new item in Metroid. It's just, now you can do a thing that you couldn't do before.
I don't think that designers in this era, really, I don't think the designers until maybe 4 to 5 years ago really considered the idea. Okay, 4 to 5 years is a little tight, but I don't think the designers for quite a while until recently considered like the ideas of sequence breaking and whatnot as things that they needed to concern themselves with. Now, obviously, this isn't necessarily true for things like the Metroid series, where
like allowing for it or preventing it. Do you mean
either or? I don't really think that it was a thing that developers thought about until the prevalence of things like speedrunning communities really hit its stride within the past decade or so.
Well, I know there was the bit where, in an interview, it was either Miyamoto or Aonuma said that after Ocarina of Time, they had frequent nightmares about people breaking the game, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
It could happen. Those nightmares do come true.
I mean, people are gonna find that stuff whether you want them to or not. Like, if enough people play it, it's gonna be found.
Well, yeah, and like, I guess it's different when, when you're the artist and you're making the thing and it's like, what all of the little flaws with it are and you're afraid that other people are going to notice that stuff and, come after you for it. But like, Ocarina of Time, if you know how to do it, you can break that game wide open.
Yeah.
But that hasn't done anything to like sully like that game's reputation or the amount of love that people have for it.
If anything, it's made it even more like it's only increased its long-lasting appeal.
I would assume that the worry comes from because back in those days, review magazines had like a section of their score that was like bugs found, and they would like rate the game on how buggy it was. And I imagine that at the time they were like, oh, what if reviewers find all these bugs and they're like, this is a bad game because it's full of bugs.
So here in Hooktail's Castle, we finally encounter Crooktail.
Yeah, that looks a little painful. She's really committed to her aesthetic.
She's actually just a Pikachu.
She got one of those horrific like back alley surgeries to like snap her tailbones and fuse them together in that shape.
She doesn't actually have a tail. That's one of those like felt pipe cleaners that she just fashioned to her belt.
She's not even a real mouse.
She's actually like a hamster or something. This tune that we're hearing right now is one of my favorites in the game.
It's very DDR, I love it.
You're so bold, is that legal?
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure in the DDR Mario game, you can dance to this song, or like a version of it. See, they knew.
She didn't rob you when she kissed you.
And she's dead.
I mean...
No, that's the secret. She robbed us, but we didn't even realize it.
Well, I mean, she robbed Mario of his virginity.
Oh, my virgin face!
Koops, can we rise,
I was saving this chica for Peach!
He learned his lesson.
No, he already got a kiss from Peach in the original Super Mario Brothers. Or at least in the All-Stars version of it, as far as I recall.
Mario learned his lesson from Rogueport, and now his wallet's on a chain.
He keeps his wallet firmly in his overalls, but he's kind of too oblivious to notice that it leaves a weird bulge there.
We're talking about the 1,000-yard stare before Mario kind of has that going on.
Paper
in this
Mario
game.
and the 1,000-yard stare.
Yes.
Why have we never said this before?
Well, you see, because Hooktail Castle is filled with stairs. Ugh. What do you guys think of the dungeons in Paper Mario games?
Dude, I love this.
Yeah.
I think they're fun.
Strangely,
I think the combat really improves them, and I think they're fun, but they're not really like the sort of dungeons where like if you just kind of turn your brain off and like just like thoroughly comb every area of every room, you can just kind of progress easily.
Yeah, there's not really too much challenge to actually progressing through. It's
That's
just kind
an
of you do it.
RPG thing. Just in general.
Because again, the game really hangs its hat on like the challenge of the combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, RPGs, and particularly those developed in Japan, tend to focus more on like the mechanical aspect of making fight
What are you gonna do, Joe?
feel good, as opposed to say most other things.
Although I do think the
oh no.
yeah, I need to try and time save.
Yeah.
Although I do think these dungeons, like as we've seen in this dungeon, have some good puzzles for optional stuff.
Yeah.
Like badges and star pieces and stuff.
Well, and like I think the amount of like puzzle solving in these dungeons is appropriate for the kind of game that this is.
Yeah.
Because if it was too confounding, it would get in the way of like the enemy encounters, which, as I said, are really kind of the meat and potatoes of a game like this. Now I left this in because I wanted to showcase what can happen to Koops if he gets hit by an aerial enemy. He'll get flipped on, like any Koopa, he'll get flipped on his shell and he won't be able to attack for the next couple turns.
Okay.
Which is a nice touch. Like I like the consistency, but it sure is annoying.
Is he the only partner that has a weakness?
Like that, yes.
Okay.
But in addition to that, like all Koopas, he also has one defense point.
Okay.
Making him, I think, the only party member you have who has defense.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Once you upgrade him, you can also get a move that like shields Mario. So, yeah, Koops is definitely a more like defensively oriented character than Goombella.
But he also has very good damage output on rows of ground-based enemies.
Oh yeah.
He
my
does.
goodness.
He's good for attacking lots of enemies at once, whereas Goombella is more like she can do a lot of damage to a single enemy.
Yeah.
She can do a lot of psychological damage to a single enemy with those scathing tattle logs.
Underlings of underlings. Wait a minute, I'm a Goomba.
She does 1d4 psychic damage with every tattle log.
Oh, there's a skill like that, and a bards can learn it.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicious Mockery.
Yeah. See, I know something about D&D.
Yeah, you got it.
Something.
Yeah. Oh god, he almost like snuck up on you.
See, this is where I would normally launch into a joke about Colin Mockery, but I feel that would be too time-consuming and distracting from the context of this episode.
Joe, you didn't save.
It's okay. Thanks to the magic of editing, we made it all the way through Hooktail Castle in one episode. Sans the boss, but there's always next time. So join us in part 7 when we tackle the monstrous Hooktail and find out what happened to Koops'
Wait,
dad.
I thought you said we were fighting Sans.
Next time, Gear Check. Next time.
Run away, Dan. Never return.
Alright, bye.